nice to be able to look through something that isn't a screen all the time.
Yep.
You can just kind of sit down, look at a few pages, flick through it, pick it up, put it down. Like, it doesn't have to have all your attention at once. It's a much more, I don't know, it's just a nice analog experience in a very digital world.
All right, here's a quick up from the Luke Nieuwhof live stream, sponsored by Destroyer 1320 for 6 Pods of Sick Week. That's pretty hard to say. Don't forget to make a comment. Tell us what you like about it. And like this video right now.
I don't know. My question is there a moment you remember that pushed you towards automotive photography? Because we're friends on Facebook, and so there's some scenery shots, that you're really good at, and then you're really good at capturing the moment for automotive too. So like how did you end up where you're at now?
Probably I think it just started back when digital cameras were kind of just new and interesting. I think I was 16 years old, and my dad brought home a digital camera that his work had. I'm like, oh, can I take that? Can I take that to the drags? And because my parents, they both raced motorcycles in Australia
Nice.
for a long time, so I was always around the drags when I was a kid and stuff.
Yeah.
And then talked him into letting me take his works camera to the track and took a few photos. And I got this photo of you call it pro mod here, we call it stop door slammer in Australia. But this pro mod was doing a big wheel stand at mid track, and none of the other photographers who were trackside got it, but I happened to get a photo. And that got published in a magazine. So that was my first published photo, and that was all really, cool at the time. And and then just sort of I don't know, it built from there. I was doing I used to play the old NHRA drag racing game on PC, and we had a little league that we ran and with a message board, and we used to have virtual events, and then I would write up virtual event reports that we would then post online. And then someone at the local track said, hey, you can write about these guys doing it in the video game. Do you want to just come down and help with the ones for real? So a lot of things snowballed from there, and I was given some really good opportunities by some people back at the track in Perth at the time. And like everything, just sort of it snowballs, and then you don't realize how you got so far from where it all started.
Then suddenly you're in the middle of a magazine. You're the dude that wrote every word Tom said for the first issue.
I do have to correct Tom a little bit on that. We did. We obviously we had Philip on board, so he was giving us a lot of good content there. So
Nice.
Certainly, I think we worked out that the first issue was 40,000 words or something, just ridiculous. It was basically the equivalent of a small novel spread through a magazine. So that's what we're going for.
Is it weird that I keep those in the cellophane package that they came
in?
No,
that is not weird at all. We were doing a bit of a clean out of our house the other day, and my wife's like, what do you want to do with this? And it's the envelope it came in, and I'm like, I don't really want to throw it out, and I can't tell you why I don't want to throw it out. I just don't want to. And so we kept it.
So I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of editing I do is at the dinner table, right? Just at the end of the table. Mm-hmm. And so I've got a little table that kind of sits off to the side that keeps a bunch of crap on it. And they're both stacked up. Both issues or all 4 issues, I guess, as you'll say it, just kind of stacked up over there in the thing. So nobody messes with them. So I would imagine there's a lot of folks that are the same way about their issues.
Yeah, it was kind of an unexpected hit, was the envelopes. We've seen people carrying their copies around the track in the envelope, and they'll get it out for people to sign, and it goes back into the envelope.
I think about that.
I think people really like using it as little carry case. So we honestly didn't expect it. We just thought these envelopes are cool, and they'll protect the magazine. But it's turned into a bit of a sleeper hit.
That's awesome. Yeah. And the the coloring of them, it's funny. I think one of them was bright gold, the one I got anyways. I don't know if it was hey, send us 5,000 packages, we don't care what color they are, we just need them. I don't know if it was
well,
that.
Originally Tom wanted all orange ones, and they only had I think 1,000 orange ones or something, so we had to get some of the other colors. And
nice.
It's just a case of getting what we can. Obviously, with everything right now, it's tough to get enough of everything. So we were taking whatever they could give us, basically.
That's great. So it's funny, as everybody that got on early, we'll all have these different ones, and then once they get it all sorted, everyone will come orange later or something.
Yep, that's right.
That'll be really cool. That's exciting. So when's the next issue dropped in? So we're probably coming up on one.
It's actually at the printers right now. So with the last one, we were just it went to print a little bit later than we would have liked, and that was purely because of there's like a worldwide paper shortage right now. So, but we're getting this one on track, and I think it's actually due to arrive at Tom's shop while we're away at Sick Week. So,
nice. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be out reasonably soon after Sick Week.
Yeah.
That won't be the Sick Week issue. The Sick Week issue itself will be out in April.
Yeah. What coverage do you have in the newest one then?
So the newest one is it's got a lot of features in it. Obviously, this is the first one we've done where we don't have like a couple of major events sort of as the base for it. So we've got I think 6 to 8 feature cars in there.
Yeah.
We do the coverage of Miles of Mayhem finally. The Canadian event. We were able to give that a bit of space finally, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Featuring road trip drag challenge from Australia. We feature Carolina Drag Cruise. So we were able to give a little bit of attention with the space that we had to some of those other events. And I think as we're more organized in the year to come, like they'll be implemented as they go a lot closer to when they actually happen. But this one is it's 200 pages. It's got some just kick-ass stuff in it still.
That's awesome. 200 pages is a bunch.
That's what we want to do. We want to make a premium product, like nice paper, very minimal advertising, so that it's like I say to people, like it's a bit like if you go to an event like Drag Week or Midwest Drags or whichever one you go to, it's a little bit like you got to get the magazine because it's like a yearbook. It's like how that's how you're gonna remember the event in future years. It's something you can show the kids. I went there. I saw this place. I remember that gas station.
This is Daddy's car right here.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't believe when we flipped through. So I immediately got it, immediately opened, and I was like flipping through trying to find the cart. And dude, you have both carts in one picture. I was like, this is the best day ever. And I'm sure you guys get that all the time. People thanking you for putting in the magazine and all that kind of stuff. I just couldn't believe you took pictures of our crap boxes.
It's kind of like it's kind of funny. You hear so much about how like print is dead and nobody wants print. And I think we even had we were doing like a Facebook advertising campaign as you do, and someone wrote up like, I don't know why you have this in print. It should be an e-magazine. I'm like, well, I think people going by the numbers, like I think people like having something in print. It's just it's nice to be able to look through something that isn't a screen all the time. You can just kind of sit down, look at a few pages, flick through it, pick it up, put it down. Like it doesn't have to have all your attention at once. It's a much more, I don't know, it's it's just a nice analog experience in a very digital world.
That's exactly right. And the one thing about the magazine too, and this is just my experience, is that it's not something that, a lot of times when I would get a magazine, it's immediately read the articles. And then as magazines got smaller, it was advertisement. Oh, hey, we're going to put on this X part. And it's a whole article about how they put on that X part. And so there wasn't a ton of features. There wasn't a ton of that kind of stuff. It was like, guys, we got to sell ads to keep this magazine alive, instead of like what you guys are doing. It's in my opinion, right from the racer, and it's based on people. And of course, the Drag and Drive is where it's the future, in my opinion. There's going to be a lot of that, not just, I think 5 or 8 years ago, there was a lot of the streetcar cruise stuff that, you had to drive 20 miles. I think we'll see a lot of that extend. And so as we go through all this stuff, I think we're going to have a lot more Drag and Drive, a lot more weekend stuff, race on Saturday, race on Sunday again, to prove your car. And why wouldn't you want to do a Drag and Drive event? Why wouldn't you do something like this? Enjoy your car.
No, it's enjoying your car is precisely it. To me, like it's such a I like I want to use the word value. I don't know if value is the right word or not, but I think there's so much value you can get from a good Drag and Drive car, because you don't just race it, bring it back. It's just yourself doing the racing. Like with Drag and Drive, you can have the whole family along for the week. You can take your car out for ice cream if you want at other times. Like you're not as limited. Like if you have a dragster, and I love dragsters, I would love to drive a dragster, but like you can only use a dragster in a very specific situation. You can't take the family out in the dragster, and you can't take the dragster through the drive-through.
Right.
But I think what Drag and Drive offers is this chance, and I think it helps grow drag racing, because it takes what's otherwise quite a selfish pursuit. It turns into something that your whole family can enjoy. And people don't have endless money to spend on all their hobbies and things like that. So if you can, justify it a little bit more and say, hey, this is something we can all enjoy together, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I love it. And again, like Rich Guido is my hero, him and Bill Armstrong, because like they drive those cars everywhere, no trailer. Rich says he'll pass people going to the track, and they'll get to the track, he'll pass them on the track, and then he passes them home, and they're all sad. I'm like, why wouldn't you drive your car? Because you just get way more miles and way more time.
Yeah.
So, plus, your thought process is maybe a little different. Now you're gonna have fun in it all the time. So,
like I've said a bunch, we're going live as often as we can across Sick Week, 6 days, February 6th through 11th. It's going to be insanity. So if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. You'll appreciate it because of the amount of content we're going to drop that week. Here's one of the quick cuts from the Luke Nieuwhof live stream on the 6 Pods of Sick Week.